Right. Good evening, guys. My name is Leopold Mugero. I want to present to you a science lesson, Combined Science 4003, paper 1, 2, and 3. Our topic is force. I'm going to use English language and as well as Shona language to emphasize some of the concepts which might require our native language. Right. So, what is a force? What is a force? What is a force? That's the first most important thing. You should be able to define a force. All together, a force is that which causes the change in position or state of motion of an object. In simple terms, but more specifically, we can say a force is that which can cause a body or an object to accelerate. Are you getting me? A force is that which causes a body to accelerate. That's the more refined way of defining a force. So it is that which causes a body to accelerate. But we can also define a force as a push and pull on an object which makes it able to accelerate. Again, our second definition comes to the word acceleration. All together, more generally, we can say a force is a push and pull that cause an object to change its state of position or motion. Chinonzi force ndicho chinokonzera an object kuti ichinje position or mafambire acho. Ndanzikwawo ndicho chinokonzera anditi. We define a force as that which causes. So if you are able to define a force as that which causes a body to accelerate or a push and pull that causes an object to accelerate or a push and pull that causes an object to change its state of position. So from this definition, we can now come out with what are called the effects of a force. Effects of a force. Effects of a force. To define a force as that which causes a body to accelerate. Now we want to look what are the effects of a force. We're going to see a force, but we can see its effects. This is not considered a force. A force causes an object to change its position. Position of an object. Do you agree? A force can cause an object to change its velocity or state of motion. It means when an object is moving slower, it can move faster or more slowly than before. Kureva kuti an object inokonzera kuti chinhu chinje position from point A to point B. An object remains where it is unless a force changes its position. Then a force can cause the speed, which we call in physics velocity, change. Then the force can also cause an object to change shape. To change its shape. Are you getting me? The force can cause an object to change its shape. So now we have learned three things here on the effects of a force. We said a force can change the position of an object. It can change the velocity of an object. It can also change the shape of an object. On top of that, a force can cause an object to change its size, which means force can change size of the object. That is another effect of a force. So, which means now, when we said actually the force can change the position of an object, it can change the position of an object. Meaning to say, a force can change an object to change position from point A to point B. That is a force. Which means without a force, an object remains on its position indefinitely. Kana pasina force, object haivi pairi zvachose. And then an object can change the velocity of an object. What is velocity? It is the speed of an object in a specified direction. Kana object yedu ikafamba in certain speed in a given direction, that speed is now called the velocity. So velocity is the speed of an object in a specified direction. Are you getting me? Then force can change the shape of an object to change. Force can cause the shape of an object to change. Force can also cause the size of an object to change. Then lastly, force can change the direction of of an object. So it can change direction of an object. So now we have 5 effects of a force, which are basic: change position, change velocity, change shape, change size, change direction. So change position, change velocity, change shape, change size, change direction. So those are the major effects of a force. I will find here. So you should know these. The combined science 4003, they ask you to give 2 to 3 effects of a force. Not all, but only 2 to 3. So choose any 3, master all, but remember 2 or 3 effects. Okay, thank you. Let's now move on to types of force. Types of force. We said the force is that which causes the body to accelerate, or it is that which causes the body to change its state of motion or position. Right. Now I want to look at types of force. There are 2 types of force. Tinema types ema force maviri. And there's what is called mechanical force, nenonzi non-mechanical force. There are many ways of explaining these types of forces. I'm going to use the very simple one. There are many ways in which these types of forces can be distinguished. Some regard them, some group them. Some say mechanical forces are conductive forces. Non-mechanical forces are non-conductive forces. Yes, but I want to define them in another way. Is it fine? Is it fine? So let's start with the mechanical forces. Mechanical forces. So mechanical forces are forces which cause the change in position and motion of an object. Together way, mechanical force is the force which causes the change in position or motion of an object. Together way, mechanical force is the type of force that changes the position and motion of an object. And it inochinja position and motion of an object. So it has 2 major effects. So whenever a force changes position of an object, or change the state of motion of an object, that force is a mechanical force. Are we together? We don't go much into detail into these forces, but that is, to me, that is the best way we can define a mechanical force. Is it fine? So we need you need to know the examples of these forces. We have the elastic force, the stretching force. When you pull a catapult, ukatitamura rekeni anditi, or ndande, or plastic, that is elastic force. A force that causes something to stretch, anditi, a force which causes an object to stretch is elastic force. But if it was pure physics, I would explain more. But for combined science, I think it will be fair. Then we have what is called the frictional force. The frictional force reduces opposite motion of an object, which means it slows down the velocity of an object, which means now it is now changing the motion of an object, hence a mechanical force. Stretching force, it changes the position of an object. Definitely. Frictional force is changing motion, so it is a mechanical force. Then we have tension force. Tension force, which is applied on a string. Ukatora tambo ukaisungirira pa object, ukakweva anditi tambo yako against that object, that pulling force is what is called tension force. And yes, it is also changes. It's a mechanical force. Then we also have a normal force. A normal force is the force that acts perpendicular to the surface of an object, and in a force that acts perpendicular to the surface. And yes, like this surface, the force which acts perpendicular upwards, vertically upwards. If this plane is on a horizontal surface, this plane is vertical or perpendicular to the surface, it is a normal force. So a normal force is a perpendicular force to a given surface. Are we together? Are we together, guys? So those are types of forces, guys. Those are types of forces. So that's our first short lesson. Let me summarize here. A force is that which causes a body to change its acceleration or to change its velocity. A force is that which causes a body to accelerate. All together. Then tikati we look the effects of a force. Tikati, a force can change position of an object, can change velocity, can change shape, can change size, can change direction. Those are the 5 major effects of a force. Then we move on to the types of forces. We have mechanical force, we have non-mechanical forces. Then what are the mechanical forces? Tine elastic force, tine frictional force, tine tension force, tine normal force. And I explained each one loosely. Then let's move on to non-mechanical forces. Non-mechanical forces. So these are forces which do not change position or motion of an object. They are usually non-conducting forces. All together. So what are these? So these are forces which do not change the position or motion of an object. So they do not change the position or motion of an object. So they do not change the position and or motion of an object. That is the non-mechanical forces. So this usually comprises of few examples: gravitational force, we have a weight force, we have electrostatic force, we have a magnetic force. Altogether, these are the main non-mechanical forces. What is gravitational force? This is a force of attraction between any two objects. Gravitational force is the force of attraction between any two objects. Weight force is the force of attraction between an object and the center of the earth. Meaning to say, weight force is an example of gravitational force. Gravitational force is a force of attraction between any two objects in the universe. Then whilst weight force is the force of attraction that pulls an object towards the center of the earth. A weight force is the force of attraction that pulls an object towards the center of the earth. Gravitational force is the force of attraction that acts between any two objects in the universe. Then electrostatic force, it is a force that is due to a point charge or two charges. So it is a force of attraction or repulsion between any two charges, or a force due to a point charge. Altogether. So it is a force. It can be a force of attraction or repulsion, but due to some charges. In simple terms, it can be a point charge or it can be two charges. So for example, when two charges are unlike, those charges attract each other. The force of attraction between the two unlike charges is electrostatic force. Then when charges are like, positive and positive or negative and negative, those charges repel each other. The force of attraction between those two charges is repulsion. They are both electrostatic force. So this is the force of attraction or repulsion between two charges. Or we can also say is a force of attraction or repulsion due to a point charge relative to the other charge altogether. So in simple terms, we can say an electrostatic force at our level is a force of attraction or repulsion between two charges. When charges are like charges, there is repulsion. When the charges are unlike, there is attraction. Then let's move on to magnetic force. Magnetic force is the force of attraction or repulsion between two poles of a magnet. So it is a force of attraction between an object. This one is very tricky. Let me explain in a very good way. We can define a magnetic force as a force of attraction or repulsion between any two magnets. Or it is a force of attraction between a ferromagnetic material and a magnet. Because kana ukatoa simbi anditi iron ukasema basada ukaanza magnet anditi, whether north pole or south pole, simbi yanodi inokweva magnet ya anditi. That's magnetic force. Ukatoa magnet anditi north pole magnet anditi, wonza imwe north pole magnet zvakare echipiri ni north pole, there's going to be repulsion. North pole of one magnet in the north pole of the other magnet, there's repulsion. Scapanic chi is also a magnetic force. So it is a repulsion force or attractive force between two poles. Like poles repel and like poles attract, but they are both forces. They are both magnetic forces. However, there's also magnetic force between a magnet and a ferromagnetic materials like iron altogether. So those are types of forces, guys. The mechanical forces and non-mechanical forces. I said non-mechanical forces are forces which do not affect the change of position of an object or even the motion of that object. Then I gave you examples of gravitational force as the force of attraction between any two objects. Weight force is the force of attraction that pulls an object towards the center of the earth. Then I also said electrostatic force is the force of attraction or repulsion between two charges. Like charges repel and like charges attract. Then magnetic force is the force of attraction or repulsion between any two poles of a magnet, or the force of attraction between a magnet and any ferromagnetic material. Together way. So these are the types of forces, guys. So we have gone through a definition of a force. Though our syllabus did not say define a force, but you should be able to define it. The syllabus says should be able to write down, to list or describe the effects of a force in terms of its position, shape, size, velocity, and direction. The syllabus says also you should be able to state the types of forces under mechanical and non-mechanical forces. And we said non-mechanical forces include gravitational force, weight force, electrostatic force, magnetic force. And the mechanical forces, we said these are forces which can change the position of an object. And these include electrostatic force, friction, tension, normal, and yes, those are the main ones. Not forgetting the elastic force. So guys, our next lesson is going to be on moments. Stay tuned. Wait for the next video. Thank you very much.